Something that is absolutely critical for your website is page speed. That is, how fast does your website load for your users? It's important not just for user experience, but it's also really important for Google's rankings and where you show up when people search for your business. In this video, we're going to talk about how to diagnose how fast your website speed is, and then what to do about what you find. When it comes to testing your website's page speed, there are lots of free tools online where you can enter a website's address, click a button, and the website will test how fast your website loads. One of the sites and tools like this that we at Buddy like and use a lot is called GT Metrics. This is a really good site that's well regarded, but also gives a lot of really helpful diagnostic information that helps you understand what's going on and how to make improvements to your load speed. So for this video, we figured it'd be most helpful to give an example and walk through that on GT Metrics. So kind of arbitrarily, we found this high school website for Carlisle Public Schools in Arkansas. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this website's URL and we're going to paste it into GT Metrics and see what we find. So back in GT Metrics, all we're going to do is go ahead and paste in the website address for the Carlisle School District. Then we're going to click the button to test your site. Now what this will do is it'll take just a few moments to scan the website and give a diagnostic test, and just for expediency on this video, we'll just go ahead and fast forward a moment here and see what the results are. So it looks like for this website we ended up with a score of a D, which is not ideal. You can think on GT Metrics of these scores kind of like your grades back in school, where A is the best, B is next best, so on and so forth. So D is not that good. So let's dig a little deeper and just see what's going on here. And one of the nice things about GT Metrics is that it gives us a little bit of information as far as why it was scored the way it was, but even better, what we can do about it. So let's scroll down here and we'll see top issues that drove this score. And regardless of what website you audit and test on GT Metrics, you'll get a breakdown of what the biggest issues are and a little bit of information on what those mean. Now, of course, if you get an A score, you're going to have less issues that are less impactful. But since this website got a D, we see a handful of things that got high impact and medium impact as well. So to start, let's check out this high impact issue that says avoid enormous network payloads. Now, this might sound like a little bit of Greek, and that's okay. What we're going to do is click on the button that says learn how to improve this. And a great thing about GT Metrics is that it has a bunch of information. So if you're comfortable, at least to a certain degree, digging into your website behind the scenes, you can really learn a lot about what's going on, what's driving these issues, and how to improve them. So in this specific case, we're reading about how to avoid enormous network payloads. So this page on GT Metrics gives an overview of what's going on, how this affects performance, what triggered it in the audit from GT Metrics, and then how to avoid that. So it's really nice is it's kind of like Wikipedia in that you can just really drill down and dig into what's going on as far as finding more information about what these different terms mean, ways to fix them, so on and so forth. So depending on your comfort level, GT Metrics is a really great resource for getting an assessment and kind of baseline of what your page speed is. And then also depending on your comfort level, how you can fix those things yourself. And sometimes you can fix them through plugins if you're using WordPress, or changing code or adding code if your site's built from scratch or on a different platform. But really, whether or not you have comfort making those changes, they give a really good, very well vetted assessment of what those issues are and how to go about resolving those. And you can feel good about using GT Metrics as a baseline that's commonly accepted in the developer community as far as how fast your website page speed truly is. So let's go back to the home page and just check out a few more things. So back on the home page for the results for this school district, what we want to do process-wise, depending on how comfortable you are tackling these issues, is you can go one by one as a layperson or as a website owner and see what things seem like they make sense to you, what things do you have comfort in changing. But then for the rest, you really want to run these by your web developer, whether you're building a current site and you're making a test on how progress is going so far, or this also could be used as a litmus test to help determine whether or not a refresh
really makes sense. So right below these top issues, one more thing to call out is the page load speed time. So in this instance, for the school district website, we landed at 3.1 seconds for a load speed. That's really high. I mean, it's not a minute or so, but as far as expectations for page speed, that's really slow and it's not going to provide the best user experience. And also likely Google and other search engines would penalize this site in their organic search rankings as far as page speed. So in any case, as far as what to do with this information, because granted, your specific scenario is going to depend on your website. Some websites are built really well and load really fast and you get an A, and that's fantastic. But in other cases, knowing what's going on and be able to get a sense of what's driving your page speed is really important as a website owner. And for you, it can help you understand whether or not some of those things are easy for you to fix, or if it might merit either one, having a web developer go in and fix those specific issues, or if it might be time for a more massive overhaul, or at least if that might be a contributing factor to updating your website in a more robust way as well. So one last thing we want to mention just to be helpful is that GTmetrix is by far not the only speed test website out there. There are a lot of free tools out there. A lot of them are very good. We really like GTmetrix because one, it's free, it's unbiased, and then also it really gives a lot of really good in-depth information about what's going on and how to resolve some of those weird, quirky issues that sometimes might pop up. One thing to mention, though, as a caveat, there are a lot of speed tests out there that do have a bit of an agenda. For example, if you find a page speed test that's linked to a developer's website or some other service, be aware that the results may potentially be a little bit skewed because the thought is if you do a speed test or some other website audit and that test finds a lot of issues, you might be more predisposed to get help and seek out that agency's services of, hey, why did your test give me these results? Can you fix it? Those sort of things. So be really mindful if you use other platforms for speed tests. Just be aware of who's running them, what their agenda is, and are they trying to give you a bad score with the thought that if you think your website is messed up or not ideal, you might become a likely candidate for them to be a customer. So just one of those things to be aware of.
So I hope that's been helpful. Some quick tips on how to diagnose your page speed and what to do with the information you find. Of course, if there's some glaring problems or you're looking to make improvements for your website, we'd be more than happy to have a conversation and see if we'd be a good fit to help out. You can learn more about our team at www.buddywdd.com. And if you'd like to start a conversation, you can just click on the button in the upper right-hand corner, answer a few basic questions, and we'll follow up with you ASAP. No pressure, no obligation. Happy to be a resource if we can. So as always, hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.